Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is a part 1 of a 6-part series about how the health of a marriage affects the children of that relationship. Today's video is going to look at how healthy marriages compare to unhealthy marriages. So let's jump right into it. Here's the thing, 93% of Americans rate having a happy marriage as either one of the most important or very important objectives. Yet many do not achieve this objective. Why? It may just be because people do not understand what a healthy or happy marriage looks like. So, let's compare healthy marriages with unhealthy marriages. Meet Tom and Sally. They've been married for 2 years. However, Tom and Sally are beginning to realize that marriage is a little bit tougher than they thought it would be. When they first got married, life was bliss. The honeymoon was great. But afterwards, things started to go downhill. Tom and Sally have begun to fight all the time, always pointing out what the other is doing wrong, but never saying what they do right. Tom yells at Sally, and Sally gives him the cold shoulder. They have begun to live separate lives, never ever doing anything with each other anymore. But meet Brady and Elizabeth. They've been married for 4 years. They have 2 children. Their daughter is 4 and their son is 6. They are a happily married couple that love each other and constantly point out positive things that they do. They communicate well with each other and listen to one another. They try to keep their special feelings that they felt at their wedding and in their honeymoon to keep their marriage strong. When Brady and Elizabeth have problems, they talk with each other and work them out. They spend a lot of time together and they have a lot of rituals that they use as well. Here's the thing with unhealthy marriages. They have a tendency to focus all of their attention on negative behaviors, giving little to no thought about the positive things their spouse might do. Sadly, if a spouse or spouses get in the habit of only pointing out their partner's negative behaviors, they are on a slippery slope that could lead to bigger problems or even divorce. The reason focusing on negative behaviors can be so destructive is because it takes 5 positive interactions to overcome just 1 negative interaction. Can you imagine how much catch-up you'd have to play if you'd only been maintaining a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 ratio? That's 4 to 9 positive interactions you're missing out on. And if you do this on a regular basis, you're falling behind. Unhealthy marriages have a lack of communication, or just poor communication. They don't listen to what the other spouse says to them, which means they don't really understand what their spouse is meaning. The reason this happens is because there is a shortage of both listening and speaking. Most of the time, there is only speaking and maybe pretending to listen. This imbalance of speaking and listening can eventually lead to feelings such as frustration or isolation. Wouldn't it be hard to feel happy if you were always frustrated or lonely? These couples begin to spend less time together and don't have any rituals they do in conjunction with one another. They don't have any specific thing or activity that they regularly do and look forward to. There's nothing to help them connect to one another or to grow their love. Gradually, these couples begin to live separate lives, even though they still live together. So here's the thing with healthy marriages. They focus all of their attention on positive behaviors. These couples complement each other, they're kind to one another, and they don't criticize each other. They focus on the positive behaviors more than the negative behaviors. Couples in a healthy marriage handle conflict differently. First, they start conflict more gently. Then they resolve the conflict and make repairs in big or small ways. Healthy marriages regularly maintain the 5-to-1 ratio of positive to negative interactions. These positive interactions help the couple maintain favorableness and closeness in their marriage. Having 5 positive interactions for each negative one is important for a healthy marriage. Here are just a couple of examples of positive interactions. One example is that they practice being interested in one another. For example, a married couple that displays interest asks open-ended questions, and they make eye contact to see how closely they're listening. Another positive interaction is expressing affection. Expressions of affection can happen in small ways both within and outside of conflict. If a couple is having a hard time conversing, their partner could take their hand and this would help reduce the tension. Holding hands, kissing, and hugging are all good ways of showing affection. How have you seen positive interactions make your marriage happier? In a healthy marriage, the one skill that is important to have in a marriage is good communication. The two basic things for communication are speaking and listening. If a married couple have effective communication skills, their chances of staying together and being happy for a lifetime are much greater than those who lack the skills. There should be a balance between speaking and listening. It's important to be able to do both. The balance should be what you share with your partner and what they share with you. It's important to be open, which is expressing thoughts and feelings when you speak. Listening is harder than talking. A partner that is good at listening sticks with you through the entire conversation and can easily repeat back what you just said. Another attribute of healthy marriages is the use of rituals. William Doherty, a professor at the University of Minnesota, said that rituals are social interactions that are repeated, coordinated, and significant. A good example of this would be a couple who sits each evening on their porch swing talking about the events of the day, or a couple who makes date night a priority every Friday. Now that you know the difference, what will you do to make your marriage healthier today? Feel free to comment below and let us know what you think of this video and what are some things that you do to make your marriage stronger.